program is still Good Morning Abuja, showing on NT Channel 5 Abuja. Yes, we have another guest in the studio, and today we'll be talking about art. What is it about art? Well, today we'll be talking about art as a tool for social change in Nigeria. And with us in the studio, we have the National President, Society of Nigerian Arts, Mr. Suleiman Mohammed, or Mohammed Suleiman. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank
You're
you.
welcome to the program.
Good to have you in the studio.
Yes.
Okay, so let me throw the first question. Can art actually be used as a tool in Nigeria for social change?
Okay, as tool for social change.
Yes.
One thing that art has always represented was that part in the past where you say send messages to people. So it was like the main means of communication. So it is that visual. And then in addition to that, you also have it as performance art. You also have poetry. You have a lot of those in the art, the cultures, the dance of people. And then you see that music is also part of it. But essentially, art, which is that very, very visual, that you can see.
Yeah.
What it provides for audiences everywhere, spectators, also people that are just around, is that it actually focuses on the ills in the society. I'm not talking about present day Nigeria. I'm trying to say, like, historically, you know that if you ever knew anything about cave art and all of this, down from Kalahari deserts and all of that there. So if you ever knew also about Egyptian, say, signs and all of those figures, that everything that they put regarding to gods, goddesses and all of that.
Yes.
So they were mainly means for communication. So it developed to a certain level where you have others using their buildings to all sorts of things. But today you see buildings, you see also billboards, you see a lot of things. These are visuals. And they are deliberately done there to make you stop a little bit and take a look.
Yeah.
But on the art side, you find it as more permanent. They are on walls, people can see them. Like overseas, for instance, like in Philadelphia, walls are donated for art to be there as that expressive means, say, of a communication. They communicate to people. And in Far East Asia, where you find China and all of those places, they actually insist that those things come out. They show you the ideals of, say, the government policies. They are expressed through art. That is how North Korea is able to hold its people till today. So they understand that the expressions for this, they just drop it there on the wall. You see portraits of the leader so very mightily done. And then the people in community of service, they express revolution through art. But art as tool for social change means that you are highlighting the social norms, issues within the society. Female genital mutilation, banditry. You're talking about too many things that affect the ordinary day-to-day person. So now you want to talk about, say, youth restiveness and the rest there. So art comes in. And now it comes in too many faces. It comes as in art, as general art, dance, music, visual art, poetry. So you have all of them. So silently, those things are happening. So now you find them that it becomes the institution to put that. So that's where art stands.
Well, thank you very much for giving us this background information to how we can use art as a social change. Now, let's bring it back home. Talk to us about some Nigerian artists or artwork that has made tremendous impact on this social change that we are talking about.
Yeah, the social change is probably a little bit silent. So this is what it is. If you talk about Art Day, for instance, where you find artists, they go, they collect all the containers that you throw away, that you litter the society with. They pick them up. So it is called waste to wealth. So they're able to, like, say, transform these things into meaningful objects that you can actually use in your homes. They also move from that boundary to, like, maybe the water bottles that you have, they fill them up with sand and they build houses.
Yes, I've seen those.
Yes, so it is working silently, but you don't see. They're helping clean the environment and they're making them so very useful for people to also do. And by the way, there are governments that are also supporting this, and there are too many artists that are engaged in this in Nigeria. So governments, like even from the United States, they've been doing a lot, and they're in partnership with Nigeria's government for most of the time. Now you see that sculptors also come out, where they go into scavenging at mechanic workshops, and you see maybe a woman carrying something on her head, and it is sculpted from maybe waste bowls and all of this you find. And there's a guy that's called Dr. Actually, he's in Lagos.
Yes.
He does wonderfully well. If you see the very colors of the things that he puts up together, you see his bowls, you see everything. It's magnificent. It's world class standard. So those are people that have been doing so much into, say, bringing it up.
Okay, so now let's talk about challenges. I know in everything one is doing, there must be challenges. Now, I'd like you to share one or two things with us on the challenges Nigerian artists are facing, especially when it comes to using their craft to advocate for social change. Share that with us.
Okay, you will not say you lack challenges at any time in anything. So, but these are the phases now. The challenges will come in form of, say, one, appreciation. And when appreciation, when you put appreciation on one side, and then community support also. It still comes under appreciation. But then also patronizing that same aspect. So communities out there, I like to make reference now that they see that there is a need for, if they find that there is a need to do something, how do they come in? Some come over as far as donating, say, your materials to you. Wow. There are NGOs that actually look and say, look, we have this, schools, so schools age 12 to this and that, and then we need them to understand what the art for survival is. You teach knitting, you teach tie-dye, you teach all of this. So people actually come over and then step up to this. If you find out in Nigeria, there are hundreds of thousands of, say, textile artists who are there that you can easily employ and say, look, I want you to impact into this, because today, if you see educational system, it's not necessarily providing jobs. So you need to catch this guy's hands on like this. So what you're able to do is to make sure that you put up like materials, bring in these artists, put them focused, and then make sure that you impact into them aspects that actually.
I know you have a lot of information to give to us regarding this, but let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll discuss more on how well we appreciate art here.
Thank you very much.
We've been discussing how we can use art as a tool for social change, and we've been discussing with Mohammed Suleiman. Now let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the discussion. Welcome back. We are still here and we are still talking about how we can use art as a tool for social change. Yes, we have been discussing before we went on that break. Now, talk to us. How well can we appreciate in this part of the country the work of art? Yes, I appreciate work of art a lot, but I don't know about others. And that is why we are here to talk about how we can get everybody to be interested, to be engaged in this work of art.
Well, thank you. You see, usually when these questions come out, I usually have this response to it, and then somehow it makes me giggle a little bit.
Okay.
Because every person that you see that is seated is also embodied in art.
And
then they wonder how else they have to appreciate it. Because they think now that the art has to be painted, sculpture.
Drawing, yes.
You have to draw, you have to hang it on the wall. When you're wearing clothes that are actually either dyed or the fashion sense to it has been so very wonderfully done, then you have two beautiful women that understand that.
Thank you.
And we sit down also and we look in our fronts and we find products of ceramics.
Wow. Artwork. So everything around us is just art.
Yeah, even your interior is still art. So we see a lot of things all the time. And I say the appreciation is from choices that people make. Now, when you talk about paintings, you talk about sculpture, you talk about. So now you need to now talk about who the artist is. That's what gives value to it because art appreciates actually by the value that people place on the art and the artist. So it is an artist that you find, like you want to talk about Dr. Bruce, Kolade Oshino, a lot of so many of those icons in Nigeria who have vested, put a lot of interest and energies and resources and also time, like research into what art really, really is. Having brought it up to a level, you will now want to think like this person sits for 15 hours or 2 years or 5 years developing a concept, probably the strategies for the growth of, say, maybe what Nigeria should look like in the next 4 to 5 years or so.
Okay.
Now, these are not just ordinary art or ordinary persons. Let me use the word because I don't want to also call them visionaries also. But from experience, the person that imagines that beyond this earth that we live in and has gone as far as space to tell you that this is the distance between one planet and another, and he helps you represent it. And he knows that you will probably never see those places. But because of, say, insight through, like, say, too many things. So he becomes an artist who is an engineer, the artist who is a space tech person, artist who is a doctor because he's still there, he drafts for what you call maybe your syringes. He has to make a model of it first before it's effected at the hospitals and the rest there, doing too many machines and the rest there. So if you look at persons like this, and you now say, how much is it worth to get his piece of art? And when you say millions, like you say 40 million for an art piece, the ordinary person says probably say, for what? And you don't get offended because the level of sophistication is different. Somebody needs to grow up to meet art also before he understands to appreciate art. Yeah, but the ordinary person who thinks I can buy 50 bags of granite and share and eat, that's him. You cannot take that away from him. But the person that has gone out of this space and begins to see, even as far as works that, as far as he's concerned, he can't see the nose, he can't see the mouth, doesn't make sense to him. He now knows that you need a different kind of orientation, schooling to get to that level. So people that appreciate this art, I would say there are levels of sophistication. That is why they say in Nigeria, probably people don't understand what it is. It's the level of awareness, level of sophistication. And when you get to that level, you know how to pay those billions for it.
Wow.
Lizzie, I could see that you were so lost in this.
Yes, because as he's talking, I put myself, because I also draw, talking about the paintings and the drawings, and I do that a lot. In fact, I was very good back then in secondary school. But, it's not everybody that understands this thing. I was just behind the camera, I was telling you about a lady who bought just one painting, just one, 1.5 million or so. In my mind, I'm like, okay, yes, I know she has the money.
Her own has gone beyond the level. Is he appreciating it?
Her own is, yes, I think her own, she sleeps. And that was even one. But looking at her surrounding, her room was full of arts. So you can imagine how much such a person has invested in the work of art. Okay, so for those who cannot interpret, because everything in her room meant or means something. So maybe only an artist who understand the language of arts. For those who don't understand, what are people trying to do to also let them understand that, okay, you're trying to communicate a message through your paintings, through your drawings. Are you people making any efforts to let other people, like the layman, understand what people are communicating? And it has to do with anything social that has to do with Nigeria. How are you people working on that?
Okay, there are other facets to this, because if you look, an exhibition will be going on today at the Transcorp Hilton.
Okay.
And then you have too many opening nights, so many times. And when you look at them, these exhibitions, they give you pieces like 10 million, 35 million, and people are buying this work. And people say Nigerians don't appreciate work. And I say, no, it's not true. So the ways to this is that you bring people and make them understand that first, if the institutions teach it from primary to secondary school, Nigerian parents still don't understand that this is gold mine. They're looking at it as something
There's no more drawing.
no, some even think it's dropouts that do this.
Wow.
Funny enough.
Yes.
But if you look at it, these are the richest men in the society.
I agree. I just in that one point, only one art.
You know, when you see some artwork, they are breathtaking.
Yes.
You can say that
and the message is just clear.
Now, how can we bring in technology now to help?
Art is technology.
Yes.
Art is the mother of technology.
Oh my God.
It's not art. It's not technology now that will be brought inside. Because first, for everything that you see that is technological was designed first by the artist. Automobile design and all the cars you see, what the artist is doing with people's minds is that it's one engine. But tomorrow you see the design, they say this end of discussion or discussion continues. You see, it's one engine, but the artist, the automobile artist, is busy there changing the tires, changing everything. Okay. He is the father of technology himself. So art builds everything.
If we leave him, we wouldn't be here. So just give us your final word before we let you go this morning.
My words are to the government, actually.
Okay.
To take art seriously in schools. Because every community that you go to that is so advanced nicely. It is from their institutions. They get it right from their institutions. And everywhere that you see, why do people wear wonderful clothes? Why do they put designed watches? Why do they go for designer perfumes? Why do they go for structures? Why are their interiors so wonderful? Why is it that on a wall you just find one single painting there? Why are sculptural pieces in wonderful places? Why is the Sistine Chapel in Rome? Why do people go to Rome, especially to go see, we want to know historical Bible? It is because the art has represented it there. Nigeria is not representing anything yet. So you need to build it.
Thank you very much for your time with us on the program this morning.
You so much.
We do really appreciate it.
Debbie, I think I'm switching. I am so switching. That program at Transcorp, I'm so attending. So that I'll start. I will continue.
We'll switch together.
We'll switch together to educate.
All right.
Yes, we have been speaking with the National President, Society of Nigerian Artists, in person of Mohammed Suleiman, and together we look at how we can use art as a tool for social change. He has talked to us a lot how we can appreciate art. Now we are going to go on this quick break. When we come back, the program continues. Stay with us.